Good morning, good afternoon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hit that notification bell.
All right, this is not 5.5. This is 4.5. Whoopsie. 4.5. Day 2. All right, we are pretty much going to be comparing again, but now it's going to be from tables and graphs, and then pretty much saying which one is better, like the better deal. So Lorena's mother needs to rent a truck to move some furniture. The cost to rent a truck from 2 different companies is shown in the table and the graph. So which company should she use to rent the truck for 40 miles? So over here we're going to look and try and find so Ron's rentals. We want to find the rate of change first. So what are we adding each time to the cost? We're adding 25 each time. And to the miles, we're adding 10 each time. Now, if you look, if you added another 10 to 30, it would be 40, correct? And then I would just add another 25 down here, and right away we can say Ron's rentals for 40 miles would be $100. But that's not how I want you to find it. I still want you to be able to write an equation for Ron's rentals. So y equals, what is his rate per hour? Well, the cost is $25 for 10 hours. Well, I want to figure out how much it is for 1 hour. So 25 over 10. If I wanted to reduce that down, I could divide both 25 and 10 by 5. So 5 over 2 would be my rate, or my M. So it's going to be 5 over 2 x. And I want to figure out if I'm adding or subtracting anything. So I need to find my y-intercept. So here, just like I added here, I added 10. Can I subtract 10 from 10 to get to 0? I can. And then here, subtract 25 from 25 here, and I get 0. So my y-intercept is 0, 0. So therefore, it's going to be plus 0. I don't even have to put that on if I don't want to. Okay, and then if I were to figure out how much it would cost for 40 miles, I would input into my equation for x 40 over 1. And 5 times 40 on top is 200 divided by 2, which is equal to $100. So for Ron's rental, it is $100. Okay? Then we want to find for crosstown movers. It gives us, the graph gives us our y-intercept. So our y-intercept, that's that plus or minus, but it's a positive 30. But now we need to find our rate of change. So our number that's going to be connected to our x. So we go up from this point here, up. So rise. We don't just go up 1. We have to look at our values here. So from 30 to 35, I go up 5. And then from here, or 0, all the way over to 10, I'm changing 10, right? So it's 5/10 x, which can be reduced down to 1/2 x plus 30. So that means the rate per mile is 1/2. What does that mean? What's 1/2 of a dollar? 50 cents. Okay, so now I want to figure out how much it is for miles for 40 miles. Well, my x is miles, so I'm going to put 1/2 times 40 plus 30. And that's going to be my total cost. So I remember I have to do the math, or the multiplication first. Sorry. What's 1/2 times 40? 20 plus 30, y equals 50. That means $50. So crosstown movers for 40 miles is going to be only $50. That is from my equation, my original equation, plus 30. And I got that from my y-intercept. So my line right here crosses my y-axis at 30. Okay, Now, these two, if you think about it, this 5 over 2 is 2.5, right? That means it's $2.50 per mile. So if you go 1 mile, it's $2.50. If you go 2 miles, it's $5. Well, here, this is the better deal for this instance, but maybe for a different one, it would be the worst deal. Because if you go 1 mile, it's half a dollar or 50 cents per mile. So if you go 1 mile, it's 50 cents, but then you have to add that $30. That $30 is that base rate or base fee. Just for renting the car or the truck, you have to pay $30. And then on top of that, you have all those miles you have to pay for also. So if you were only going a small distance, you would have to pay probably more. If you were going long distance or short distance, you'd probably want Ron's rentals. Make sense? Anyway. All right. That would be, problem solving that we would want to. All right, our second one. Okay, the same thing, 2 companies. The cost to rent a raft from 2 different companies is shown. Which company should you use if you rent the raft for 9 hours? So our first table, can you see that? Yeah. So we want to find the rate of change here. What am I adding from 15 to get to 1725? Try. Wake up. 225. 1725 to 1950? I did. Nobody watches these videos anyway. Really? Nice.
Who also subscribes?
That was just a joke.
I did it and I unsubscribed and then I subscribed again for the notification bell.
Really cool. You unsubscribed. Okay, my rate of change is my change of my y, remember, over my change of my x. So 225 over 1. So $2.25 per hour. So it's going to be y equals 225x. Now, where's my starting or my base fee? Well, just like before, if I subtract here, I subtract 1, I get 0. Well, I'm trying to find what my y-intercept would be. I'm trying to find 0, comma, a number. Or 0 here and a number here. Before it was 0, 0, so we just had our equation, nothing added or subtracted here. Well, this one, if I subtract 225 from 15, I'm not going to get to 0. So subtract 225 from 15. First subtract the $2. 15 minus $2 is 13. Then subtract the 25 cents. So 13 minus 25 cents is $12.75. So that is my y-intercept. So this is going to be plus $12.75. So I subtracted this 15, and then I 15 minus the 225. That rate of change. So each time it's going up here, 225. So if I wanted to figure out the line before this one, I would just go down 225. Just like here, if I wanted to figure out how much it would be for 6 hours, I would add 1 here. So then I would add 225 here. And I would get 26.25. I could continue that until I figured out how much 9 hours would be. But I want you to be able to figure out the equation here, and then I'm going to input 9 in for x and do my math. So 225 times 9. Anybody have a calculator handy? Is 20.25, and then if I add that 12.75, the total cost for Ryan's Rentals would be, is it $33? Okay. Then we want to figure out what Water's Edge is. So we have to go over and create our equation. If you look, my line goes through the origin. So right away I know that it's plus 0. Then I need to find my rate of change or my slope. So go from this point to this point right here. I go up how many? I go up 5. No, that's wrong. I go up 6 because that point is 1, 6. So I go up 6 and over 1. So my slope is 6 over 1. Well, if it is direct variation, I can just do y divided by x. So 6 divided by 1, 18 divided by 3, and 36 divided by 6, which all equal 6. So y equals 6x, and I'm not going to be adding or subtracting anything. And then for 9 hours, I need to replace x with 9. So 6 times 9 is 54. So for Water's Edge, it would be $54. So who has the better deal? Ryan's Rafts. Okay. Your assignment. 3 through 4, 10 through 16, all. Even the even ones.